mentioned Ian Smith in your speech. Why do you think he did fail to make a lasting agreement in time in Rhodesia?
Well, he had a chance at an earlier negotiation situation. There were proposals on the table in the case of the old Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe. The British government was very directly involved in negotiations because it was not an independent country like South Africa. And offers were on the table. I think it was on a ship somewhere, I forgot the name of the ship, which would have put Ian Smith and the whites in the old Rhodesia in a much better position than the final deal he made. But he passed it up and he wanted too much. He wasn't prepared to make painful compromises and concessions. There were some people, there are still some whites today telling me, I gave away too much. As there were blacks until Mr. Mandela's death who said he made too many compromises. Those were the hardliners, and I think Ian Smith himself was a hardliner. He wanted too much. There are some whites who say, I could have negotiated a white veto in a new constitutional system. I never stood for a white veto, because that would be a form of continued racial discrimination in favor of a minority. I stood for checks and balances in the Constitution. I stood for elements and institutions which can prevent the misuse of power, but not for a white veto. And I think what Ian Smith held out for and what he lost in the end was a form of a white veto. But I'm not an expert on the old Rhodesia and on Zimbabwe.